Hello and welcome to... Okay, we're reconnected? Are we Okay, cool. Welcome to Facebook Live. This is Karen. I'm Karen from Avalon Springs Farm, doing my regular edition of the Farm Chicks on Thursdays. In the morning, you'll see Dallas from Dancing Leaf, and after me at 1, you'll see Lisa Check from Flying Goat. So, so welcome to the Farm Chicks on our Thursday threads. Look at me, I'm in a mountain of roving. So that was going to be, I have a couple of topics today, but the first one was going to be all about what I'm surrounded with, which is roving. I am hosting...
Oh, there it goes, okay.
So I'm back again.
Yes, you are.
My apologies to the world that is experiencing my cutting in and out. Apparently the internet is hard to reach today, but I'm back again, and it's the Farm Chicks Thursday edition. I'm Karen from Avalon Springs Farm. I am surrounded by roving today because I was going to talk about Tour de Fleece. I'm hosting a group for Avalon Springs Farm, so if you go on Ravelry, if you're a Ravelry person, go on Ravelry and look up Avalon Springs Farm or Avalon Springs, and in my group there will be a sticky note at the top how to join my Tour de Fleece group. And this year, as my hosting, this is my first time hosting as myself. So the goals for me are very much in line with when I was a public school arts teacher. I really want to emphasize using fiber in your life. You do not have to be a hand spinner or a drop spinner or a wheel spinner. You just have to be a fiber enthusiast. So please feel welcome. I'm also part of a group, 4 people hosting 4 farms hosting as part of the Fiber Arts Studio Tour. They also have a Tour de Fleece group that has just opened, and so I'll be active over there as well. So let me talk about this roving. So when you're on my farm and you see that I have fiber animals, one of the first things that I do is turn it into roving, because this is where yarn begins. So I have a couple of new rovings that I just picked up earlier this week. It was I picked them up on Tuesday, right, Jenny?
I think you did.
Yeah, and this is called, does this one have the name on it, babe? The name is called Crocuses in Snow. Yeah, so this is the little pink crocuses. Because sometimes they bloom in the snow. So, yes, that's that colorway. I will post all of these to my web store, and I thought to myself, people are probably going to want to know their fiber content, and so that will be, it's hard to know it entirely, each one specifically, while I'm talking to you live. So when I list them online, I will list their fiber content. Basically, because I have Angora goats here, and alpaca here, and llama here, although none of these are llama roving. Almost always my roving is based on the fibers from my farm. I buy my wool fleeces locally. Sheepberry Farm in Pennsylvania, right near Gertie Run Woolen Mill, where my fiber is made into roving. And also, Sheepberry Farm is where our guard llama came from. So she's in she has a couple of farms participate with llamas and sheep out in pastures, and our guard llama came from that group. So here is the next roving. Oh my goodness. So yeah, look at this one has Angelina in it. Look at the little sparkle. And this one is called Oh, spring peach tree. Yeah, because it had just a little bit of the sort of like green and bark colors. The bark comes from our alpaca named Gracie, and peach blossoms. So, which are have a hint of peach in them, but are also very pink. So that's the basis for this, the name of this roving. So very cool, very cool. And then the next one is mind-blowing. This one I don't have to look up the name. This one is called Circus. Any questions why? Oh my goodness, is this not the brightest color you've ever seen? I'm like, ooh, yay. So what I did for this one is the orange part is all wool. And then I dropped in little dyed locks to make these like little streaks of, and the dyed locks were all in Circus colors. And this one also has a little Angelina in it. So this one's a really woolly fleece. Oh yes, it's so woolly. I don't know, why do I think it's so fun, but I do. Because not everybody will be this bold, and sometimes you just gotta be bold. Yeah. Moving right along. Moving right along over here. I have 3 more. This one, oh, I think this might be the softest one of the bunch. I don't know, we'll see. This one's pretty nice. This one was called Kilt. And what I did was I brought up online some plaid kilts, and I was like, oh, I am going to dye colors that I see in these plaid kilts and make my own version. Because, like, what if you spun this into your yarn and then you wove it? This would be a kilt. In another day and age, you would actually make a kilt that way. So why shouldn't you name your initial ingredients after your final product? You know? Way cool. And they came out really kilty colors. Oh, there's one natural fiber in here. Let me see. If you see that there's a tiny little bit of black in there, and that is like undyed, but all the rest of it is dyed. This one does not have Angelina in it, so that's really cool. Oh, Jenny, I'm so glad you got these out. You want to know why? Why? Okay, because when I do when I start spinning myself for the Tour de Fleece, I'm going to start with these 2 because these are based on baby llamas. Remember I said something about Sheepberry Farm? Do you remember a couple minutes ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where our guard llama,
Mandy.
Yes, Miss Mandy Snow. That's where she came from. And Mandy is the mama of this baby llama. This is the roving made from the baby llama, her baby's first clip. And her best friend had a little baby, and this is the best friend's baby. They were 2 mama llamas at the same time. And so the 2 babies are still together on the farm, but Mandy is now being a guard for our farm. Next roving. So Mandy happens to be what we would call a career woman. She's lovely. We love her. Okay, and so this one was called Clover. And I guess it's pretty clear why it was called Clover. Why do you think it was called Clover?
I don't know, maybe because of all the green and that's just a guess.
Yeah, just a guess.
It looks a little blue on camera, but it is more pronounced green in real life. I'm seeing there's a pretty, when we take the pictures, you'll probably be able to see it, but yeah.
Yeah, that is one bad thing about not being in person, is blues and greens. You know, it's funny, certain colors are just really hard to photograph. Like this, I always have trouble photographing this turquoise color.
Because it looks way darker on camera than it does in real life. It looks way more popped out in real life, looking at the two.
Yeah. I don't know. That just happened to be there right when you said that. But anyway, yes. So this is Clover. The predominant color is like a bright Kelly green. And then there's striations of other shades of green and even some green Angelina in this. Because, you know, Clover has like the morning dew on it. And that would be like how that goes. This last one, because I went and got 6 rovings. This last one is a colorway that I've made before. And every time I make it, I sell out like just so fast. I guess people like this. It's fun to make. Maybe it's because the name is so much like the color. And I bet you this one will be hard to photograph.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. It is way more of a popped baby blue than what it looks like on camera. It looks it looks more like a robin's egg than it does light kind of sky blue.
Okay. So the reason that it's called like sea glass is, you know, that dusty light baby blue color of glass that you find at the ocean?
This is exactly what it looks like in real life. This looks more like a sky tone, but if anyone were to get this, it is way more bluey and sea glass-like in real life.
So, and then you mentioned the robin's egg, and I bet you were saying that because you see little tiny hints of like a soft sea green that you might see also on an egg, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's, but sometimes sea glass has.
Yes, hearing the name sea glass definitely clears this up because you're like, oh, what is that? And then once you say sea glass, it's like, oh my gosh, that is what it is.
Yeah, so, and I've made it before, and like I said, each time I make it, people just go crazy and buy the whole bag. So, so those are my rovings for today. You guys, Jenny and I are going to change places for a second because I want you to zoom in on this. It's still active. It's the Ticket to Anywhere pattern. I just got finished doing the Fiber Art Studio Tour, and every year we do a pattern release in conjunction with the tour. And you make this particular shawl pattern out of a bunch of mini skeins. And as Jenny is zooming on to this little announcement page, it kind of has the details of the pattern. But right now in the Fiber Art Studio Tour Ravelry group is a knit along for the pattern because you make it with mini skeins. So now, Jenny, let's change places. Okay, you guys, while I pan forward, you're going to see this really cool lamp that we restored. And it has like little fiery light bulbs. Is that too funny? Okay, so there is Jenny. Twirl around, babe. Whee! Yay! Yes, Jenny is my Vanna. So you make, do you see, oh yeah, come close, let me show people some of the, so you make these, oh, you know what, yours, I guess it's better if you're back because the light is on you more, and I am standing in the dark. But, yeah, so those different colors were made, and these are all very neutral beigey colors with, you know, like you see gray over there, a lot of steely blue in the middle, but it was a gray, it looks very blue in the pattern, but it was a very gray mini skein, and then sort of a rusty red. And all of these are mixed with kind of some beiges and stuff like that. So you could do the pattern with any particular set of neutrals and a pop of color. The photo of it was done with very gold tone neutrals and pops of color. And these are very beige tones with pops of red and rust. Rust and steel. But this is what we just finished for the tour. And since this one was done, I wanted people to get a sense of like how versatile it is, and yeah, can be worn up high around the neck.
Once someone asks worn that way, so I was like, okay. But
Yeah, it's certainly big enough to wear it that way. And turn around, let me see your back. Yeah, totally. See, look at how much still there. Oh, it's great. Look at the little picus. I guess that's what you call them on the one edge. Oh, they're so cute. So were there any, yes, did you happen to notice any questions?
No.
Yeah, so that one, oh, done with mini skeins. Somebody is at the mini skeins. I still have little packs of them. Here they are. So these, you know, those little things.
not that exact one. I'm sure the one that, I don't know if we have any more of the one that we did for this one. But
regular size skein,
yes, a
mini skein. A regular size skein, mini skein. I'd say this is 4 ounces, and I'd say each one of these, they might not be quite an ounce, but it's kind of close. I should weigh one just to see. I think this weighs 5 ounces though. It might. I have to check on that. But yes, that's the idea. It's just these are like little 100-yard things, and you knit along, and then you bring in a mini skein, and that's what makes the pop of color. So, just to recap, lots of roving going up on the web. Just did knit toxification, and for those of you who are, I didn't mention that. For those of you who are my peeps who join me on Facebook Live, my coupon code for knit toxification is good through the end of the month. That's VPK 2020, and I still have maybe 2 or 3 colorways, 4 colorways left from that popular show.
Someone said, love the Kilt yarn.
Kilt?
Kilt, sorry, I said Kilt. Colors. Do you have it in finished yarn?
Oh, yes, I think I do. Take a zoom in on something like that. That's Pendragon Fingering Online. Yes, and this one is called, Green Tree Eve. So that's more green than blue. Let's look at another one. This is more of a straight up blue. Oh my goodness.
Something like that, maybe?
That I would say is
This
teal. Yes. But, here's another version. This blue, let's see how this blue relates to that blue. This one's lighter. Let me see. Yeah, let me see how close this one is to what it looks like. Does that look like that?
A little, yeah. Yeah.
Because this one is online. Let me get this other blue. Let's try this blue. This blue.
That matte, if you were to, yes.
Okay, so this one is called Into the Wishing Well.
The colors that make up this, I'm sure we have in solids, but I don't think it's...
I'm going to have to add some more variegated.
Yeah.
Are there, I don't see them any
No,
over there.
those are the...
Yes, that's our to be put online group. Do I have it in any of my... I might have it more in a non-fingering weight yarn. This one, this is a worsted, not a fingering, and it's way more olivey green than blue green. See how that's more, instead of it being navy and Kelly, this is like navy and olive. I do again. This has some navy in it. This one was called Sunlight on the Sea, but this one has navy, and it has a little bit of the green, but it has gold. So let's see. Pull another one. This is a speckled. Oh, I'm getting way off here. This is Seaside Evergreens, but that's way off. That's not too close at all. Look over there. I'm off camera. Darn it. Look
and one more. Here's one. I'll just show these last two. But these aren't quite it either. But this one is a bulky, and this one is called Circle and Hinge, after Stonehenge. But it kind of, I don't know, it melds. And this one is way lighter, and this is called Sun and Sea on the Shore, and this one is a worsted. So I will have to put some up that's closer to this colorway. I usually do have this colorway ones, this kind of stuff. Okay, so I was busy recapping. What was I saying? I was saying new rovings going up online for Tour de Fleece. Join the Avalon Springs Farm Tour de Fleece group and or the Fiber Art Studio Tour de Fleece group. I was saying we now have in the knit along for the Ticket to Anywhere, we now have a finished one to show you, blocked and ready to go. What else was I saying? Oh, coupon code for the Knit Toxication still works till the end of June. And that was, I was putting up Love Potion yarn for that one. And that's all bamboo and merino. But that's a fingering weight yarn. Anything else, Jenny?
No, I think that's...
That's this week's edition of Farm Chicks.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you guys for joining, and see you next Thursday.